Coach Josh Smalls in the building. It's going down today, as always. I hope you all having a wonderful, phenomenal, blessed day. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly, so I had to put my robe on. Somebody made fun of me because I had my robe on and I had a shirt under it. But, I don't think you're supposed to be on camera with hamburger meat showing if you got hamburger meat all on your chest, fellas. So if that's a problem for you, hey, do what you got to do. For me, it ain't going to work. I'm covering up. And then some of y'all like to look too hard, so I had to make sure I'm covering my skin. You know how y'all act when y'all see that baby soft skin on a grown man. Y'all know how to handle yourselves. You know what I'm saying? So I make sure I keep my extremities covered perfectly and properly and be presentable on camera. So if you got a problem with that, if you got a problem with that, I can't help you. Listen, as always, man, I thank y'all for being here and being a part of this. The show with us, and Big Mike is in the building. What's up, brother? If you are on IG, you can click over to good morning, Kendra. Click over to YouTube Live, Coach Josh Smalls, hashtag Granny's Boys. I'm easy to find. Go on YouTube. You can put your comments on, and they'll be here. I can ask our guests about your comments, and so on and so forth. And without any further shenanigans from me, I'm also on Facebook Live. But I try to get the YouTube up. So if you can jump on the YouTube, that would be absolutely great, perfect, and fantastic. And without any further shenanigans from me, welcome to the platform, the one and only Kim Hight. How you doing this morning?
I am doing awesome.
I am too, now that I got my coffee. Like, this makes the day. Do you drink coffee, Kim?
Not at all. Hate it. Hate the smell of it. Hate driving past Starbucks. Hate it.
Okay, don't hurt my feelings. I don't want to cry. It's too early to be crying.
Yep.
I've been drinking coffee I'll be honest. Once I found out that coffee helps with headaches, that's why I started drinking coffee. I wasn't a big time coffee drinker. Like my aunt used to drink Swiss Miss or something. It's been a red tin can, a little rectangular can. She used to drink that when we was young, and it smelled good. I just never was into coffee. And then they used to put like all their sugar. Oh
yeah, my father uses 8 packs of sugar with every cup of coffee. Jeez. And the guy that's the mayor used to work with my dad back in the day, so he calls him eight packs of sugar.
Now that is hilarious. That is hilarious. So, Kim, tell the people who you are, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff. Let them know who you are, and then we can kind of get into having some conversations and all that good stuff.
All right. Well, my name is Kim Hight, like I say, until you see me perform. But then after that, you got to say Kim Hight. So, I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio. I love the yo. I was born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio. So I went straight from the 330 to the 614 to now I live in the 704. So yeah, I lived in Columbus for 17 years, and then I moved here in 2012 because I wanted to be in the hot weather, and I wanted to be somewhere where Tom Joyner would show up. And I can go to a soul food festival, and I love it, love the Queen City, love it down here.
Is that actual facts for the Tom Joyner? Did you get to see him while you was here? Because he retired now.
No, but what I was saying is like when he would have all those funk fests and all of that would never come to Columbus, Ohio. So I'm like, every time I turn around, before Rona come showing her behind off and everything, I just went, to see Snoop last December, and I went to Wildin' Out. That was my last name, Wildin', and then the whole world shut down. So it's always something to do here. I was just, using that in general.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I've never been to Ohio. I've known a lot of people. I know not a lot of people. I know quite a few people from Youngstown.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to work for some Arab cats, they've lived out there where their dad was a jeweler, and they moved out here. But I don't know why I always thought Ohio had some stuff going on over there. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I'm not going to be disrespectful to your football team. Let me get that right. Let me
don't do it.
No, let me wrap myself up right and get protected.
Well, me and my niece fight all the time because I'm a Steelers fan. So people in Ohio can't understand why you're not a Browns fan. But who wants to be a Browns fan?
Yeah,
I probably just lost about 5 people from.
I have never met a Cleveland Browns fan. I just have not.
I've got some diehard. I got some friends that are diehard, and I think my niece might be the biggest one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, I probably can't even tell you a player that played for the Cleveland Browns unless they was playing on another team. Like, I just don't know. But you're a big time Steelers fan.
No. Now I'm gonna go ahead and expose myself on here.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the truth, shame the devil. The people that know me for real know I am a Mike Tomlin fan. That's my boo.
You heard it first.
So, what'd you say?
You heard it here first.
Yes. So, well, my family know I'm a Mike Tomlin fan, and I've been loving him for years because I'm a sucker for chocolate men with pretty white teeth. So, and so I've loved Mike Tomlin, and my friend, they started a group here, and she was like, "You interested in coming?" And when I first started going, I was there eating wings and dancing and watching Mike Tomlin. But as I was a member for like 3 years, because people were like, "Name me 2 people on the team." I'm like, I don't know. So, but as I started going throughout the years, I did start learning, the players and everything. So I'm more of a fan now. But as you know, I'm a die-hard Buckeye fan. Cleveland, Kendra, Cleveland is 1 hour from Youngstown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been. I've never even transferred flights through there. So I guess coming from New York City, right? Like, the only, like, you want to see the big places that are going to be like in some sort of a competition to New York City, if you could, right? There's no competition, but at least like, I gotta go to LA. I want to go to Miami. Like, you want to go to the sites, and but yeah, Cleveland just never. I didn't know, and like, I didn't know anybody who lived there, so I didn't have anybody to visit.
Yeah,
which is crazy because like, I have family. I have a cousin almost every. I probably got a cousin in freaking South Dakota. Like, like, I'm just like, and I was surprised that I didn't have a family member in Cleveland, but
Yeah.
So Mike Tomlin is your boo. Got you.
He's one of them. He's one of them. Idris Elba, Mike Tomlin, whoever.
Okay, I could talk that question right off the list. You just jumped on into that one. Get that one. How long have you enjoyed football?
Well, I worked at Ohio State for 11 years. And my son graduated from Ohio State. And I always followed Ohio State, but my family seems to think that I got a little crazier when I worked there. Because it's a culture. I worked at the Lincoln Tower, and the band practiced behind us every day from 4 to 6. So I know all the songs. Hang on, Sloopy, hang on. Oh, hey.
Okay.
So I had to hear all of that stuff every day. They were practicing every day. And some of my family think I'm crazy because it becomes a thing in you that you cannot stand. I'm going to do this. This is what we put. We don't do M's. That Michigan team, the team from up north, TTUN. So we don't mess with them. So yeah. But yeah, I became a diehard fan then. But I laugh because I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys because I have a brother who, when I was little, they laugh. I just told them, I said, I can't stand this song. It strikes terror in my heart. Dun, 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 dun. When I was little, I was like, what in the world? Why we got to watch this for hours? So yeah. But I've always been a sports fan, like high school and all of that. I played volleyball, basketball, threw shot put and disc in high school. I actually got put into our Hall of Fame for high school for volleyball.
Oh,
So, yeah,
that's big
yeah.
pimp. So you played basketball?
Oh, I was horrible.
Oh, okay.
I was the worst thing to ever step on the court.
Well, why was horrible, Kim? I don't. What happened?
I'm girly, and
Okay.
I don't like nobody to touch me. So if you come near me and touch me, I'm just gonna throw the ball. That's why volleyball was a better sport for me, because you're on the other side of the net, and then I don't have to fight like I fought all the time in basketball because you were touching me and don't touch me, and I was girly. So yeah.
Gotcha. When I went to college, I took, everybody take that the little health ed, that physical ed class because it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
We did basketball. When I took it was basketball, it was volleyball, and it was something else we did. But I actually began to really, really love volleyball. Like if you play volleyball, you learn the rules to it, and you understand the game. Volleyball is a lot of fun. Yeah. And then I started watching when the Olympics came around. Like when the Olympics come around, I watch the floor. I watch all the gymnastics stuff with the Olympics. Definitely the basketball stuff. And the swimming. Like I'll pick and choose in there. The boxing, I'm never really around for whatever reason. I never get to see it. I always watch the volleyball.
Yeah. And when I was working at Ohio State, I was taking a couple classes because at one time I thought I was going to go back and be a math teacher. But God took me away from that because I would be in jail for beating up a kid. And so, because this generation, Lord. But anyway, I took a couple classes and I took a volleyball class. And I was like, wait till they see my serve. They're going to be like, oh, she old and she can still play. Man, I got in that class. Them college kids was jump serving and spiking on my head. I mean, I was hanging though. I was on the championship team in the class. Gotcha. I was hanging, but yeah, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Yeah, that old volleyball knee was not ready.
I like to rush. I like to rush the net when you have the opportunity to rush the net in volleyball. Like I've always, because I can jump to be short as I am.
Yeah,
but I like to rush the net and get that. Or actually you're gonna swing and just tap it over.
Listen. I had a teammate who would just jump up and do this. Yeah. And I was so mad because I never could do that. I could never do that. I never mastered that. But every time you do that, because the whole other team is like, oh, it's my favorite thing in the world. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to think that spiking the ball was, that's a goal. Like you're good to go with that, and it's a good. It's really good. But you got some people that can jump on that floor and get that spike. But when you set them up like that and just tap it, like that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
I played basketball. So basketball was like my favorite. That was my number one sport ever. I used to love football. My mom told us we couldn't play, and I went and tried out for the team anyway. She didn't know, and I played. And I remember now I'm on offense. I to get the ball. And I saw a helmet, and next I was standing on the sideline. That was it for me. I don't remember nothing.
Let me tell you my biggest injury.
Okay.
My biggest injury was warm-ups before a volleyball game. The other team, you get your drills. The other team was over there doing their bump set spike drill, and we was over there just bumping. And a ball came under the net, and I bent down to get the ball. Wow! I got hit in the temple and got the wind knocked out of me. And I'm sitting on the bench going, I never had another injury. I mean, I had jammed fingers and stuff like that. But I never had another injury. I was like, I thought I was going to die. I was like, from a warm-up drill? So, yeah.
One of the worst experiences in sports is to have the wind knocked out of you because you really don't know what to do.
No, you can't breathe.
And the thing is, all you got to do is just relax and the air go back. But if you like, the air won't go.
I was like, Lord have mercy.
I tell you, so I've been playing And when I moved here in '97. So since
Mm-hmm.
'97, I'd always played ball at the YMCA. Now, at the YMCA on Moorhead, we used to play with a lot of cats that play college ball. Used to be NBA players in there. Rod Strickland, Bobby Fields, even your boy R. Kelly came in there. I played against a lot of, but now he can shoot. They made it like he was, Master P was in there. P can play too. So there's been a lot of players that could play. A lot that play overseas though. That's when I started training guys. But anyway, so I remember playing with this guy named it's this white guy named we called him oh my gosh, what is can't think of his name right now. Anyway, we run, the ball is loose. We was running for the ball. He comes this way, I come that way. My hand hit his hand like this. This part of my finger was on that part of my finger.
Yeah.
So,
I had people say, "Oh, you could be a hand model. This hand is so pretty." Oh, I'm not gonna show you this because these are so crooked from all my jam fingers.
Let me tell you,
all my right hand has been jammed. So,
it ain't nothing worse than when your fingers going in the opposite direction from your hand. And I had to go get that thing pulled out. Let me tell you how crazy I am. They shot Novocaine in my finger. They put a pen here and they pulled it back in place. It snapped back in place. The doctor said, listen, this is going to be sore tonight or tomorrow morning. So just here's some pain medication.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up that morning. I put some athletic tape around these two fingers. I was right back on the basketball court.
Oh, Lord.
I was right back on the court. Man, we don't listen.
No, y'all don't listen at all. But my career ended. Everybody knows me, and this is an important part of my story that people that know me know. I had Kenny when I was 16. I had my son when I was 16. So I had him going from the 10th grade to the 11th grade. So he was born August 3rd. So right before I started my junior year, I was a new mom. So he became the class of 89's baby. Everybody loved Kenny. Just everybody, they can't believe, like, oh my God, little Kenny is 33, blah, 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 blah. So he became class of 89's baby. And my mom was my rock, which I'm looking so forward to our celebration Sunday because I was born on her 40th birthday. And so Sunday I'll be celebrating that I turned 50 and she would have been turning 90. Wow. So when I went to college, she used to watch Kenny for me all the time. She helped me. I mean, she was like my rock. That was her baby. Mm-hmm. And so when I went to college, they told me I could walk on for volleyball. And I came home and my mother, I'm telling you, my mother would like slap you in the mouth and just keep on talking on the phone. She was that type of mom. She was an angel on earth, but she did not play. So I walked in and I was like, Ma, the coach said I could walk on volleyball. She looked at me and said, and you think I'm going to watch this baby while you going to school and playing volleyball and going to practice and y'all play out of town? Or no, ma'am. So that was the end of my volleyball career. And I'm mad because they had them little cutesy shorts and everybody know I like to show off my legs. So I could have been cold-blooded at Youngstown State showing off my legs.
Let me tell you something. I met Kim a couple of years ago, and I found out we basically share the same birthday. And
right,
the instant brother-sister connection, man. She is so amazing. With Kim, I want to talk to. Let's talk about because I want to definitely talk about what we're doing Sunday and the reason behind that for you. But I want to talk about what got you into writing poetry and what inspires you to keep going with that.
This is my can't see the camera, this is my first book, Let Me Flow to Your Soul. And when I have my book release, every time I have a book release, I have two books. This is my other book, Spiritual Gangster. Yes, I love The Godfather, if you can't tell. But every time I have a book release, I go back to Youngstown to have it because I'm never, ever going to forget where I came from. So when I had my first book release, I got in touch with my third grade teacher who married my sixth grade teacher. Oh, wow. And I dedicated, I put an excerpt in this book to her because in the third grade, she started me writing poetry.
Wow.
In the 3rd grade, there was a principal outside. There was a billboard outside of our principal's office. Mr. Toady, John White. I'm a John White peeps. What's up? And she took 38 of my poems. I wrote 38 poems in the 3rd grade, and they hung them out there. And I got my first poem published in what we call the mini page.
Wow.
When they used to have a little children's page in Youngstown, in the Youngstown Vindicator, and it was called I Hate Witches. So it was for Halloween. so I got that published. And so Mrs. Orenick, she gave me, 2 bottles of wine, and everything was like, congratulations. But her and her husband, who, like I said, was my 6th grade teacher, they came to my first book release.
Wow.
And I dedicated that to her because I still remember those 38 poems came from a book. I thought I was sweet a little bit with drawing back then. But I can't draw nothing now. Oh, thank God for my illustrator, Susan Bird Conliffe, because I tell her what I want, and it looked like scrambled eggs, and then she'll come out with the pictures that you see in my book. But I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. But I thank Miss Orenick, but that's when I started in poetry in the 3rd grade. But I had drawn on my book. We made little books, you laminate them and everything, and it was a clown. And it said, clowning around with poetry. Oh, I was sweet in the 3rd grade.
Wow. So when you so the moment you saw those poems, what went through your mind? Like, do you remember what you thought in that moment that you saw those poems up? Like, wow.
I was like, wow, they put my poems out on the billboard. I'm like, the bulletin board. The bulletin board in elementary school. I was just like, wow. And then she introduced us to haiku, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. I loved it. So, I have haiku in both of my books. I have haiku sections, and I love haiku. And people that don't know anything about haiku be like, that's the dumbest poem I ever heard. But yeah, I just fell in love with poetry. And then I'm sure every poet used to be a rapper.
Used to be a rapper.
So in high school, I was double K. I was Cool Kim. And my group was Soft But Deadly.
Oh.
And we had Soft on our back, B-U-T on our butt, and Deadly down our right leg, and a big giant 2 on the front. Kim is too hurt. So
wow. Wow.
So yeah, wow. Me, my friend Sabrina, my friend Bernice, and my friend Vanessa with Nisi and Vanessa were the dancers, and me and Bree were the rappers.
What was double K? What did double K stand for?
Cool Kim.
Okay. Oh, I'm just checking. Oh, we lost Kim Hight. she was so cool. The camera said, "Oops, I'm out." She'll be right back, y'all. Isn't that dope, though? Like in the 3rd grade, having yourself published and posted up. I have not had that in the 3rd grade. I would have loved to have had that. Oh, here she goes. She's back.
Okay, I was gonna say it went out for a minute. Yeah, Cool Kim, KOOLKIM.
Now, when I see KOLL, I think about them cool cigarettes that people used to back in the day. Do they even have those cigarettes? Like, I haven't seen a pack of Cools since I was like 6.
Yeah. I forgot where I got that from, but I'm gonna tell you what made me want to rap. When LL came in that movie and said, "Box, my radio, believe me, I like it loud." Yeah. I started writing. Huh?
I tell a lot of people, if you over 40, right? LL was your rap inspiration from the jump. And I'm not disrespecting those that came before him. Definitely not Run DMC, because they paved the way for L to be there. But LL came out, and LL made you, because I still love Kumo D, but I go back to breakbeats and all that with some of y'all youngsters. Y'all know nothing about breakbeats. AJ Scratch and all that stuff. I'll go back then, Curtis Blow era and all that. But when LL signed with Def Jam, And LL started when LL first dropped, and he came out with oh my gosh, even when him and Kumo D was battling, like that made you want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
and then
lady,
Roxanne Shante, when she came out, I loved her. I have tweeted her before, like, listen, because before I became, before I developed to Double K, they had wrote that song and Roxanne, and I love that song. But I was like, don't talk about Roxanne because I talk about you. Yeah, I used to think I was sweet with the rhymes.
Remember UTFO?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, there were so many pioneers from back then that actually really made a way for us to be poets. Unlike rap today. Rap today don't and okay, yes, rap is poetry, I get it, but rap today doesn't have that poetic feel like back then. And I think that's what they missed because they went to rap instead of just being hip hop and an MC. I think that's the difference. I think that was the big difference. The Big Daddy Kanes, all of them. If you don't like Big Daddy Kane, you've never listened to Big Daddy Kane. Like you cannot hate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's your top 5 MCs?
I don't have a top 5. You know who mine is. The GOAT. And all y'all Tupac people could go on somewhere because you know who I'm talking about. Biggie. I'm Biggie's number one fan. And this year, my son, we always get together for Mother's Day. And this year I was getting a shirt made. And I was supposed to be at the Hall of Fame when he got inducted. And Rona happened.
Yeah.
People was like, Kim, your boy getting inducted. I love Biggie. And not like, people like, are you in love with him? No, but I just wish he could have been my boy. I love Biggie's lyrics.
Yeah.
People laugh because you say all the time, yeah, LL Cool J is fire, Kendra. But you say all the time that I could go from my Jesus poetry to, ratchet in 2 seconds because that's who I am. Yeah. But when I'm traveling, I got to listen to Life After Death probably 2 times in a row. And I could quote that whole CD because my favorite song in the world is Give Me the Loot. Because you ain't got to explain. Because I've been robbing since the slave ship with the same clip and the same 4-5. I love Biggie.
So Smalls is my last name, right? And it's not Biggie's last name. I don't know where he got that from. After Biggie died, I found out he's like a second or third cousin of mine. Did not know that.
Wow.
My cousin Free used to hang out. Him and C's was real tight. They still tight. But I found out that was like my third cousin. Sean Price is my second cousin. Bobby Checker is a distant cousin. Like I've got, you know what I'm saying? But I never knew that was a cousin of mine. But I was sleeping when they announced that Biggie had got murdered. And I got a call from my old supervisor. He said, yo, this is killing me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, what you doing? I said, Negro, I'm sleeping. He said, turn the radio on. Turned the radio on, and Busta Rhymes was saying that they killed Biggie. And I couldn't get out of the bed. Yeah. I could not get out of my bed. And I'm laying there because I always had, my mom would tell you, I always had some sort of equipment in the house. Even after I lost my DJ equipment, I always had a CD player, a cassette deck, an EQ, a tuner, and an amp. Always. And I could not move. I was frozen. And I tell people, like, it's not that I dislike pop. It's not that. I just never listened. I just never listened to all those albums straight. I always skip a song somewhere. It's happening. But
I just feel like, just like in the Biggie movie, there was a whole section where they was like East Coast, West Coast, and they was going against each other. And I said, I just feel like you got to pick one or the other. And people be like, no, you can love them both. I'm like, nah, it was that East Coast, West Coast. You got to roll with one or the other. No, dog, you can't be like, I like them both. I mean, Pac has some okay songs, But Biggie is the man. But I love Biggie's voice.
Yeah.
I love his beats. I love his lyrics. They just released something that I tagged you on that said it was his first freestyle on the radio.
I gotta see.
And I tagged you on that was fire.
Let me tell you something. Big. So that whole area, that President Street and all. So Big, Jay-Z, Busta, all of them kind of circulate close around in that area, from my understanding. But you can find. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of people gonna give me a lot of flack with this, but I don't care. I say it anyway. Kendrick Lamar is a decent MC. He's probably one of the dopest on the radio because of his content. But you can find a Kendrick Lamar on every street in Brooklyn. I mean, that's just.
I bet you could.
And that's what I'm saying. You could not find a Big on every corner.
Right.
And that's what made him stand out. Like he said, how better way? He said, I got techniques dripping out my butt cheeks. I sleep on my stomach so I don't fuck up my sheets. What better way to say I'm the shit? Like, you can't fake no other way to say that. There's Listen, here's to Big.
Yeah, Biggie is. But I am a 90s rap girl. I work out to 90s rap. Gotcha. You know, I love Fushnikins and my favorite time song like that is Blue Cheese. Like, a lot of people don't know what Blue Cheese. I love Blue Cheese and stuff like that. Listen, I can go from, if you go on my YouTube list, you'll hear anything from Praise Is What I Do to Nuck If You Buck to, I will break out and be like, the hills are alive with the sounds of me. I love musicals. I love all kind of music. I love it all, from ratchet to gospel to, whatever. I just love music.
So the only time I listen to ratchet music is if only two people can send me ratchet music, and that's you and my daughter. Nobody else can send. I'll be like, I'm not listening to it. Only you and my daughter. And it's funny because I'll be here and you be like tagging me. So I'll be like, what did Kim? And you tag me and you be dancing.
What's popping? Hey, what's popping?
Another secret that people don't know. I did not like Nuck If You Buck because of the chick that I was dating when that song was out. Because she used to get on my nerves. They'd be like, turn that shit off. I kicked the speaker over one day because she kept losing. But when you hear it, you just automatically
you gotta Nuck If You Buck. Listen, one of my all-time favorites is my son. He was the squad leader because Kenny Hight is just the bomb on percussion. So he was the squad leader since the 10th grade on the drums. Mm-hmm. And Drumline had come out.
Wow.
And one Christmas, I made a whole little book. I'm a corny mom. So I made a whole little booklet, and I was like, Dear Kenny, I was like, remember we were watching this movie and this picture of Drumline? I was like, and you asked, do they have a real event like this? The Battle of the Bands, because we from up north, we ain't know nothing about that stuff. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, they do. And guess what? And I had a little surprise emoji. And I was like, this was when he was young. It was like back in 2007 or something, 2008. I was like, well, they do. And we're going. And it had the plane tickets in the back.
Wow.
Let me tell you, we went to Battle of the Bands in Atlanta. And my son, the pretty boy, he take forever to get ready. That dude was up and dressed and ready on the couch when I woke up. And we went to the Battle of the Bands with my cousin. And that was one of the greatest experiences because it's like 10 different HBCUs came out.
Right.
And they all came out with their drum majors coming from different ways and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God. But they said, we're going to do old school versus new school. And they played Poison. So I stood up and did my signature move. Right. Poison, hey, I was ready. Then they said, now we're going to do new school. And they was like, oh, pop champagne. I was like, hey, I know that too. Hey. But let me tell you, you can look it up on YouTube. I think it's like 2008. You will not be able to see because whoever was taking the video, they played Nuck If You Buck the whole stadium.
Wow.
Started, hey. That's one of my favorite experiences in life. That was like awesome. Just seeing 5 million gazillion people doing Nuck If You Buck together. So my son has specific instructions that when I pass away, they are to have a nice church funeral and roll the casket out. And when they get out to the hearse, I want everybody to knock if you buck, knock if you buck. I want them to say it real loud, and I want them to knock if you buck. Hey, that's my instructions.
That's your instructions. I think if I don't say that, and my family decide to play a song, it's going to be either Donny Hathaway song, or it'll probably be a Beres Hammond song that they'll play for me. Just because they know that those, anything from Donny is going to work for me anyway.
Yeah.
But then probably a Beres Hammond song. But yeah, Kim, I can't.
I just want them to celebrate, and I want them to knock if you buck.
Yeah, that would be dope. That would be freaking dope.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we're doing Sunday. Let's spend some time on it. Because I definitely want to talk about what we're doing, and I'm going to want them to know the purpose of why you're celebrating it so big this year.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a private person, and I shared with people on Facebook that I had COVID at the beginning of October, and I was sick for 16 days straight. It is real. I was sick from October 3rd through October 19th. Now, everybody that knows me knows that I celebrate my birthday the whole month. Like in the week of I always used to go to a HBCU game. I always went to see North Carolina A&T in October. The week of my birthday, I would do sipping paints, karaoke, all this stuff. And I was like, Lord, first of all, this year I was supposed to be on a cruise to the Bahamas. And then we were like, well, let's not do a cruise because other than the family were trying to do stuff. So we said, well, let's go to New York. So both of my birthday plans were like the worst things you could do when Rona hit. Mm-hmm. So I was all excited because I was turning 50. And then when you just couldn't do anything, I was like, man, I can't do anything for my birthday. But my son, I love my son so much. I love you, Kenny. Little Kenny. He's 6'1", but he's still a little Kenny. But anyway, everybody be like, that's a grown man. But he had said, well, Mom, why don't the family come up? And we had it all set up. I was going to have a dinner at Mr. Charles Chicken and Fish on that Friday. But it was allowed to be up to 30 people, but he was going to put 4 people at a table and spread them all over. He was going to let me have the whole restaurant. So then we were going to do a sip and paint on that Saturday. And then that Sunday, on November 1st, we were supposed to do this poetry thing. And when I got COVID, I was like, Lord, are you mad at me? Like, do you not want me to have a 50th celebration? And I'm telling you this, I don't want to call it isolation, but I just want to say this time has been so great for me to focus on me and God. Because, God is, my spiritual life is very important to me. And he has just blessed me. And I didn't have major symptoms. I never lost my taste or smell. I never had problems breathing, but I was just weak. And I had to get taken to emergency in the ambulance and everything else. They gave me fluids and I was all right. And then my fever broke. And then I was sick nauseous for 4 days straight. And then it was over. Wow. But people that see me are like, but you look radiant. I just feel so blessed because I've been in here. I haven't written new poems in a long time. And I wrote that I've got 3 new poems that I'll be sharing Sunday. The one, when will we finally be free? After the Breonna Taylor verdict, I wrote that. And then I wrote a poem for my mom, which I'm gonna try to get through Sunday without crying. And last night, I don't want to cry. There's been a poem on my heart. And I've heard it. I always hear my poems in my head before I write it down. I've been hearing it for years of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to say it. And I kept saying, I gotta write it. I gotta write it. And basically, it's about a young man. I went to McDonald's one time on Sugar Creek and they was about to fight. And the girl was saying she's gonna get her brother to shoot people in the face. And you know me, I'm not scared of that type of stuff. So I kept walking on into McDonald's. And two young guys came in and they was cussing at each other and you owe me $5. And he's like, ain't nobody think about your funky $5 over some weed. And I pulled out, I have cards with Spiritual Gangster on it. And I said, how you gentlemen doing? My name is Miss Kim and I pray for the youth. And the one was looking at me like, get out of here. But the other one, you know, he stood there and let me talk to him. So I said, well, what's your name? And he said, oh, you don't want to know my name. And this was before Empire. And I said, well, what's your name? He said, Lucius. I said, okay, Lucius. Well, go to Gangster Prayers on Facebook and like my page. I said, I'm going to be looking for you, Lucius, and I'm going to be praying for you this Saturday. I'm going to be looking for you. He didn't like the page or anything. A couple months later, I'm at the gas station at the Shell on Sugar Creek. Car pulls up. I smell all the weed and everything. I'm in my truck. Who gets out the car?
Wow.
So I said, Lucius, Lucius. And everybody was looking like, his boys was like, who is that? And I was like, you don't remember me? Miss Kim, we met at McDonald's. And he was like, oh. So I know they thought I was crazy because I popped my trunk. And when I met him at McDonald's, I always carry copies of my book. I like to give my Spiritual Gangster book out free to young kids because it's not about profit for me. It's about purpose and reaching, people. So I didn't have my books with me at McDonald's, and I pop my trunk and I get my, Spiritual Gangster out because this is geared towards youth. It's a 1, 2, 3. These poems are for me, and then the second section is for more like junior high kids, and it's called Keep It Real. But the last part is called In These Streets, and the poems are raw about what happens in these streets. And so, in my books, we're going to get rid of this. We're about to go Audible, but they had CDs in the back at times when you had a CD player. And ain't nobody saying nothing to you. Siri done went off on my phone. Ain't nobody saying nothing to you, Siri. Okay, so I give him my book, and I always tell people, how do you spell your name? Because people spell their name crazy. So I said, hey, Lucius, how you spell your name? He looks at me and says, it's just Brandon.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I'm not to cry. Wow. That completely changed my life. Yeah. So you'll hear my poem Sunday called Just Brandon.
Oh my gosh. Wow, Kim.
And this is the desire of my heart. I love youth. In this book, I talk about everything. People don't realize what kids are going through. People gonna say they acting out, they so horrible, but you don't know they hungry. Like with a mother and a father in the house, they hungry. You don't know that they being molested. The one lady I met that was Oprah's ambassador, to Hope. She just followed me on Twitter and she met me in Columbus and guided me. The Lord has put some beautiful people in my way. And I mean in my path. And she had a whole book about her mother was worship Satan. And she grew up and her father was beating her mother and her mother was worshiping Satan. Like, people do not realize what kids are going through. And you just want to look at Lucius and you want to have an attitude and you want to say, look at him, look at them. But it's just Brandon. Yeah. Wow. Brandon wants you to help him. Brandon wants you to talk to him. Brandon is crying for you to talk to him, but you're too scared. So that's my new poem. I just wrote it last night and I wrote it through tears because I want to help the Just Brandons. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Kim, that just, wow. But I know your heart. So I already know, like, if y'all don't know, she 5 o'clock in the morning, Saturday mornings. Is it Saturday mornings?
Yeah, Saturday morning.
prayer for the youth. Get on it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. On Gangster Prayers on Facebook, Gangster Prayers. But the other thing is that I was born on my mom's 40th birthday. And honey, if you knew her, if you were standing in line with her at the grocery store, she'd be like, "This is my daughter. I had her on my 40th birthday." And she would tell the story because she had 4 boys. She got married when she was 19. She had my brothers when she was like 20, 21, or 23, whatever. But my brothers were 2 years apart. So she said she wanted a girl. So when she was 35 years old, she tried to have Kimberly Ann. She had Kimberly Ann picked out.
Wow.
And here come my brother Dave, old blockhead. Anyway, here come my brother Dave. I love him. He get on my nerves, but I love him. But anyway, here come my brother Dave. And she didn't have no name for him because she had Kimberly Ann picked out. So she looked at Dr. David Levy and said, "What's your name?" And that's who my brother's named after. Oh, wow. So she named him David Craig. And then she tried one more time. And my brother Kurt always get mad because I say, "And then she was blessed with me." He'd be like, "How come she always had to have us? And then she was blessed with you?" But I was born on her 40th birthday.
Which is what day?
October 30th.
October 30th, the day before mine. In case y'all didn't get that, I wanted her to say that because we dope like that. Go ahead, Kim.
So she was born 10/30/30, and I was born 10/30/70. So like my mom passed when I was 31 years old, and let me tell you, it is something rough that you don't know nothing else but sitting beside your mom when you hear happy birthday. And so the first year we went to a Texas Roadhouse, and every year I try not to. The more I try not to get upset, I think I make myself more upset. But usually like a week before my birthday and a week before Mother's Day, I get upset and everything. And then I'm okay when the day comes. Because, you know, people will say stuff like, "You shouldn't be like that. Your mother wouldn't want that. Your mother. And your mother wouldn't want that. It's your birthday." But y'all, you don't understand. My mother been gone since 2002. But still, it's painful. Absolutely. So the first time, listen, it was like a horror movie when they were singing happy birthday to me and I was sitting there by myself. It was like slow motion. I didn't know what to do. And so it's like painful for me. And everybody know I love my daddy. I love that little Puerto Rican looking man with his loud mouth. And, you know, God bless his heart. You know, he's 90 and we had that big parade for him. I, got in touch with the mayor and put all that together, and they went down the street, had cheerleaders and drummers and everything. Now, you know, my mama was alive, and I'm turning 50 and she turning 90. That celebration would have been off the hook. Yeah. So Sunday, what I'm doing is celebrating me and you, Scorpios in the house. And then also, I want to celebrate my mom. My friend Tiki has made me a beautiful blinged out frame. My favorite color is purple. My mother's favorite color was pink. I can't stand pink. I think I'm a rebel against pink because I think pink is society's definition for a girl. So I'm a rebel against that. I hate pink. But she made me a blinged out frame that's purple and pink. And, you know, I plan on having purple and pink decorations and just celebrating me and my mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm really excited about it. I text you every day every time I could when you told me when you was ill. And I'm just so happy that you pulled through because I lost a few people.
Yeah.
Close to me. And I was so happy when you would tell me this is a better day because I kept asking you, how's today? Is today a better day? Because that was important to me. And I want people to understand that. You know, we don't know what this life.
Yes.
So I want to celebrate you now. I don't want to wait. Oh, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't want that. So everybody who's listening, if you can make it here, be here. This is a celebration about life. Like I'm doing for the first year, I'm doing a celebration. I survived being gunned down. November 20th is the day I was gunned down, and that was in 1991. This year, I'm going to do a Zoom where I'm going to perform and talk about my shit. Like I'm opening up. because I don't feel like people need to know. So you have enough to fight through when your thing come through. Because see, you fought through what you came through. God was with you, but you fought through it. And I'm just Kim. First of all, you don't look like you're 50. First of all, let's put that out there. You don't look like 50 years old. Because when you kids, you be like, they 50. 40 years old when you 5, right? You don't look like you look amazing. I'm so happy you're here. You are my sister. I love you. And man, I know now that I'm going to cry when you do that poem, Just Brandon. I
was bawling reading it to my niece last night, and she busted out crying. She was like, dang, Kim. She said, you be hitting in the heart. I said, because I want people to realize, we have all these town hall meetings and these candlelight vigils and prayer movements and all this stuff. I had a thing one time in Youngstown with praying for our city. But here's the thing. The people that need the help, they're not going to be at the town hall meeting. So I am big on street ministry. I mean, my son used to go with me when he was little. I used to take this poem I had, Get God Enough Said. And one thing I have learned, I love the Lord, but Christians scare people away. Certain Christians scare people away. And when I used to lead my street ministry and my youth ministry when I was in Columbus, I used to tell people, don't go up asking people, are they saved? Don't ask people that. That's offensive. Yeah. And so me and my son on my own, I would go to Kroger's and gas stations and say, hey, would you like a word of prayer? I'm telling you what, people on the streets are more knowledgeable than people in the church. And they'll get to talking about what they've been through. And if you say, would you like a word of prayer? People need to talk about what's going on in their life. I love street ministry. I love youth. I love being a motivational speaker because I went through a lot. People go, no, every time I say it, people won't believe me. I didn't have self-esteem until I was in my 30s because I always thought I'm the big girl. And everybody no, Kim was most popular. She was best all around senior, but I didn't have self-esteem. I didn't even consider myself having a pretty smile until I was 34 years old. And they were honoring this dentist once somewhere. And he said, you have a beautiful smile. I never thought I had a beautiful smile. But honey, let me just get this clarified right now. Now that I know, if I'd have knew what I knew back then, I'd have took all y'all men. But yeah, I just, I like to motivate people and I like to talk to our young people. And I feel like the only thing that's truly going to help young people is if you know somebody and they're young, just talk to them when they're on a regular basis, when they're Brandon, when they're Lucius. Talk to them when they're Brandon and say, hey, man, I know you out here, but it ain't worth it. And this, that, and the other, especially the people that's that they consider for real, that OGs that's been through it, that's been through jail, that's been shot. Everybody, if you just talk to them and be like, hey, just share your advice, share your love. Don't be scared of them. People always acting like they're scared of young people. Don't be scared. Now, there are some sociopaths out there. But if we start reaching people they ain't going to listen. They ain't going to listen. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And if this one don't listen, that one will. So you can touch somebody. And that's my heart's desire. I love the youth. And my everything is to try to help youth. Miss Kim's house was the place to be. You wasn't allowed to cuss. You wasn't allowed to drink. And you probably was going to watch The Wiz. But guess where all the kids was? Guess where all of Kenny's friends was? At Miss Kim's house. Yeah. Because I cook and I hang out and I'm real. I'm raw. Yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm raw. I will come in there with an economy pack of condoms and say, here, this for all of y'all. Don't make me no grandma. I'm realistic. You got to be realistic. Right. And a lot of people are like, I can't believe how down to earth you are. That's right. I'm down to earth because I love the Lord, but you can have a life and you don't have to compromise your life, but you can have a life and you can have fun and still love the Lord. And people so, critical. people always be like, "Ooh, you cuss." Now I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna tell the truth, shame the devil. I got a potty mouth. I need Jesus. But, but you know, people are like, "Oh, you cuss," but I love the Lord and I do the best that I can, and that's all that we can do. And I have a poem about that in one of my books. Is that being a Christian means you're striving to be Christ-like.
Mom.
You know, before you say you hypocrite, what are you striving for? So I'm ready for Sunday. I'm excited. We're going to kick it. All the Scorpios in the house come. All my friends, if you live in Atlanta, drive. Come on. We're going to have Ace of Spuds potato truck. I met her on campus. Listen, she make baked potatoes with Philly steak cheese on it, Cajun shrimp, Gouda chicken. It's about to be on. And if you say you there for my birthday, you don't have to pay the interest fee for the car, which is $10 per car. And what I want you to do with my birthday wish is patronize Ace of Spuds food truck, because we want to make it worth her while for coming out there. But I can't wait, y'all. We're going to kick it. We're going to act a fool. I'm so glad I met you. I met you when I was out celebrating my birthday, like I do.
There you go.
And you introduced yourself to me, and you said, and my birthday is tomorrow. And we done been brother and sister ever since. Homie.
I still remember, because you came in with like 4 or 5 people, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a brother named David that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because my given name is Daoud, which is African. It's African Islamic translation of the name David from the Bible. So I remember that, and I don't think from that day you have this spirit in you that people automatically gravitate to. If somebody's running from it, because they're running from themselves, because they can't stand in front of you because you're so real. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about you. I've never heard somebody say, I don't like him. I've never heard that. And if they say, they're probably going to whisper that shit someplace else because they know I'm going to dig up in there. They know I'm going to get them. They know I'm going to get them.
Uh-huh.
You are.
But yeah, I appreciate you checking on me. I mean, you have been genuine. I've had some horror stories in the poetry world, but I love you because you're always on the grind, but you're always trying to help other people. Nobody, people are not like that. You are always trying to find a way to help people, and you do whatever you can to help them. You are never a crab in the barrel. You're always trying to help somebody, and that's the best thing in the world. And you know, even though I know we have different faiths, we still, there's no disrespect for each other. Right. And you are so genuine. I love you.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. It's too early in the morning. I'm going to say that.
Happy birthday to Umi yesterday, your mom. Scorpios all in the house. We're going to celebrate her too. We're going to kick it.
I'm hoping that she's coming. She probably will.
Okay.
So we got like a minute left. I want to say this first of all. First of all, thank all you for tuning in. Thank you for coming and celebrate Kim. I mean, she is amazing, which you all know that now. I want to say this: when it comes to religion, at the end of the day, regardless of what religion is, in that religion to worship God. And if God is who you're here to worship, all the other flags and connections don't matter more than what your purpose is. And that's why we dealt with faith. If you have faith in your creator, that's all that you need. You don't have to worry about who don't agree with you. That's okay. Agree to disagree, but love who your creator is.
Yeah.
Kim, thank you.
I see y'all Sunday. Follow me at Kim Hight the Poet, Hight, like left and right with an H, on YouTube, and find Poetry for Entertainment and Gangster Prayers on Facebook.
And if you can't find her, find me and I will direct you to her. That is not a problem at all. Let me end the show. Hold on, Kim. Don't go there yet. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all same time tomorrow. My guest tomorrow, I think, is Melanie's coming on tomorrow. So Melissa Ellis. That's what's coming on tomorrow. So I will see y'all then. Much love. I challenge you today to be better than you was yesterday. You have the potential to be great, amazing, and awesome. Nobody else can be you. So go ahead and strive to be the best you can think about. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Love you. Be there Sunday.